The hallway was silent for a split second, and filled with cruel laughter. Ms. Harper clutched the torn edges of her dress, her face flushing with humiliation as the pieces of fabric dangled in her hands. It was her first month teaching at Ridgewood High, and she had worked tirelessly to earn the respect of her students. But now, standing in the middle of the hallway with everyone staring, it felt like her entire world had just collapsed. The bullies, three of the school's most notorious troublemakers, grinned like they had just won a prize. "Didn't think you'd be such easy prey, Teach," one of them sneered. The others laughed, egging each other on. Miss Harper could feel the sting of tears in her eyes. But something deeper burned beneath it. Anger. For most of her life, she had been shy, soft-spoken, the kind of person who avoided conflict at all costs. It was part of why she had become a teacher. She believed in kindness, in guiding young minds. But standing there, humiliated and surrounded by mocking faces, she remembered something her late father had taught her when she was just a girl. "You can be gentle, Lily, but you must also know when to stand strong." He had trained her in karate, not for violence, but for self-defense and inner confidence. As one of the bullies reached forward to tug at the dress again, Miss Harper stepped back, her posture suddenly changing. She was done being afraid. "Yes. Enough," she said firmly. The boys hesitated for a moment, confused by the change in her tone. Then one of them laughed, stepping closer. In one swift movement, Miss Harper deflected his grab, spinning to the side. Her hand chopped downward with precise force, and the bully crumpled to the ground, winded. The hallway gasped in unison. "At!" Second boy lunged, but Miss Harper sidestepped and swept his legs out from under him. The third froze in place, eyes wide with shock. "Don't even think about it," she warned. The bullies scrambled to their feet, groaning and humiliated. Principal's office. They didn't argue. The hallway, which had been filled with jeers only moments ago, was now silent except for the sound of the boys retreating. But once they were gone, Ms. Harper's hands trembled. She hadn't wanted it to come to this. She prided herself on using words, not fists, to solve problems. Yet deep down, she knew she hadn't just defended herself. She had shown the entire school that she was not someone to be walked over. That afternoon, she met with the principal and explained what had happened. The bullies received strict consequences, but Ms. Harper chose to meet with each of them privately as well. She learned that behind their bravado were broken homes, insecurities, and years of bottled-up anger. Rather than hold a grudge, she began to work with them, challenging their behavior, while also guiding them toward better choices. Slowly, things began to change. Students who had once ignored her now greeted her with smiles. Those who had mocked her started coming to her for advice. The bullies, though it took time, began to soften as well. One even apologized, admitting that her strength had shocked him into rethinking his actions. Weeks later, Miss Harper stood in the same hallway where it had all happened. She was no longer the shy new teacher everyone doubted. She had earned respect, not because she could fight, but because she had shown courage, the kind that protects without cruelty and leads without fear. That day, she addressed her students with a message they would never forget. "Being strong doesn't mean hurting others," she told them. "It means standing up for yourself and those who can't. It means doing the right thing, even when it's hard. I hope you never forget that." The story of Ms. Harper's hallway stand spread through the school like wildfire. Some called it legendary. But for her, the real victory was knowing that her actions had inspired others to be braver, kinder, and more understanding. She had turned humiliation into hope, and that was the kind of lesson no textbook could ever teach. By the end of the school year, Ridgewood High felt like a different place. And Ms. Harper? She had found her voice, her confidence, and a family within the walls of her classroom. She had proven that even the quietest person could rise up, and that true strength often comes from the heart. Would you like me to expand it further with more character development and dialogue so it fits perfectly into a full 15-minute YouTube narration? Or should I add more intense emotional build-up leading to the hallway scene?